I am going to explain a little bit about how to deal with large amounts of files when it comes to drone processing. So usually what drone operators do and what surveyors do, they have requests for surveying certain construction sites. That's most common. And construction sites, they are usually always fairly small and limited. Sometimes you get a request to survey a certain subdivision, but a whole barangay is already a different request and a much bigger scope of work, of course, and much more data to handle. And when you look here on the screen, you see that we covered already most of CBD and many other places actually, except the northwestern part of CBD. We haven't done that yet. And well, if you want to process all of this, I can tell you the computers here will crash. They cannot handle this amount of data. So what you want to do is you want to narrow it down, right? You only want these images here, which you need for Middle Carino Hill to process. And so the easiest thing for me to work with is that I actually know where is which file. So I can easily copy paste files around. And I came up with this system, but of course someone else may come up with a different system. But I found it very convenient for me that I organize files per year where we did a survey, and then um, we have certain survey grids, so I organize them per survey grid. But again, if someone has a different system to survey, of course they will also organize everything different. But we use these survey grids, which are 300 by 400 meter areas. And every of those grids is then subdivided again in smaller grids, which are 100 by 100 meter. Why this? Because we, with our experience, we came that here with the altitude in Baguio, the wind in Baguio, the environmental conditions in Baguio, we can do roughly more than 100 by 100 meters with a single battery. And you need some leftover capacity in the battery to make sure it actually can fly out to your survey and come back to your survey without running out of juice, so to speak. And that's why we came up with the 100 by 100 as small. And we came up with 300 by 400 because 12 batteries is what we estimated. You can do that in the morning, and 12 you can do in an afternoon, so you can do two in a day. Actually, you can do more if you start very early, and if you can continue until very late and the weather plays along, you can actually do even 3 or 4 surveys on a day. But as it happens, we have this experience that in Baguio there's always something. There's either rain or there's wind, or like now gray clouds. With gray clouds, I would abort already to just avoid the risk of rain starting, right? So quite often you abort a survey, um, and afterwards you may think, oh well, it didn't rain after all. But it's expensive equipment, these drones, and yeah, you don't want to risk them going down in the rain. So that's basically why we came up with this system 300 by 400 meters, because that's basically what you can do in a morning or in an afternoon. And then 100 by 100 because that's basically what you can do with a battery while maintaining some safety left over in your battery. And yeah, that's then also how we organize the images. And I can show that here. So when you go in here, then you see here these survey boxes. So 5496, for example, is the southern part of Middle Carino Hill, and here you can see then those numbers, the smaller ones, which are organized in the same way as the large survey. So in the center is always 0, and then we count around, we count up. And with the small boxes, we do the same. The 0 is in the center, and then we count up. So these are then the numbers you get for the smaller grids. This is then how it's organized, and then every single individual image is like this. They're quite large, they're like 10 megabytes per image. So organizing it is important because otherwise you keep moving around data. Yeah, and then basically once you know what you want to copy, which are just 3 folders in our case, We did in 2024, we did the survey, that was in summer, and then in 2025 we expanded it to cover it completely. And I copied those here under these two. And to work with it, basically what you got to do now is to move every single file out of this folder, which is quite doable. There, Metal Creek Hill. And basically copy all the files now in a single folder, because to process it, you actually don't need them organized, you just need them all in a single folder. So let's do that here. At this point I'm going to shut down the video, because this is basically step one, preparing to get the files from your organized files and then copy them all into a single directory which you're going to use to process the data. That's step one, which I'm now going to complete.